working session, looking at things that we plan to do for 2016, for the year coming in, inshallah. Some of them probably be here Friday, and then actually the session starts Saturday. So we do plan to, for the conveners, have breakfast with them, inshallah. We have that, alhamdulillah. And we, and with this effort, we're not going to burden the community. I just want to say that, that we, inshallah, we'll take care of the breakfast for them. As well, we have lunch as well. Again, we're going to take care of the lunch as well. And then Saturday, we plan to have a dinner for them as well. And we'll take care of that as well. So the community won't be burdened with that responsibility. Said we'll be here working, discussing things that is pertinent to our community and some direction and goals that we have for our community, inshallah. So again, we appreciate everybody for last weekend. It was a blessing, a wonderful time. And following that, last of the month, we'll be traveling to Memphis, Tennessee. So this whole month of March, gonna be a lot of stuff. We got a meeting in Memphis, Tennessee. We'll be going there, and then coming back in May. You know, just to give us an update, we do have a basketball team. We had our first practice last Sunday. Man, you know, wow. You look at that goal, you say, I know where I should jump up there and touch it, you know. Just looking at it, you know, I don't touch the net. You know, I don't think I can touch the net. But pray me to Allah, we met at Marshall Middle School, and several brothers were there, so we actually started our first practice last Sunday. We plan to do, continue this Sunday, 7 o'clock. No, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, Marshall Middle School. That's the schedule so far. And we shot around and did a few little things, you know. Pray be to Allah. So we're getting ready for March. May. We plan to have an elimination tournament. I don't know how many other teams will be formed. But we ready. We got our team. So we plan to go down there and win, inshallah. So that's happening. That's what's going on. Praise be to Allah. What we want to do, we just want to go right back to what we had mentioned in Juma. He was talking from Surah Nisa, ayat 59. And we was talking about actually the Quran, qualities and principles. And these things are always opinions, because my opinion might not fit exactly what we need, but it is a truth that Allah has revealed to us in the Quran, and it applies to our life. If not your life, somebody else's life, so it's always applied. It's always applied. So it's guided for the whole life. And it was pointing out that there's 3 facets that we need the Muslim community success. Muslim success. And right before we begin, Qur'an, we mentioned this ayat, the last ayat in Surah 4, ayat 58. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ayat 58, the last ayat in this Quran.
Nissa?
In Nissa, right?
And Nissa.
And Nissa, 58, 4, and Nissa. Ayat 58, the last of the ayat, what we mentioned in Juma.
Right.
And it says, Inna Allah kana, it says, A'udhu billahi min shaitan rajim, Bismillah ar-Rahim. It says, Inna Allah kana sami'an basira. That's what it says. And we translate, for Allah is He who heareth and sees all things. Ayat 58, the last of that ayat, Surah 4 at Nisa. Ayat 58, Surah 4 at Nisa.
Okay.
Inna Allah kana samiyan basira. For Allah is He who heareth and seeth all things. And that's a mercy. And it's a warning. And that's the mercy right there. That Allah give us warnings of what He does and His abilities and the abilities that He has, so that we can always stay in line. Always stay in line. He hears, so that is hidden to directing to our speech that we use, that we have. If we know for Allah He does, He all things, and we know that. So that means that our speech should be a speech, when we speak it, that Allah is pleased with. We say He hears, so we're not going to say anything out of our mouths. And Basira, and He sees. So again, this is speaking to, the first one is speaking to our speech, what we say, and the second one is speaking to what we do, because He sees. We're speaking that, so we know that Allah sees us, so that means that we're gonna be seen doing things right, things correct. Our speech gonna be right, and our behavior gonna be right, as right as we can. Okay, so we pointed that out. Now we want to get to ayat 59. And it says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, and emphasizing the believer. It's emphasizing, oh, you who believe. So Allah is addressing the believers now. We got to be clear on that. I know we are, but we got to be clear. Allah is addressing, it's a direct, straight address to those who believe. So now Allah have got our attention. Hey! Getting our attention. So now Allah is letting us know what He wants us to do. This is His obligation. He wants us to do this. Okay? Number one, Atu Allah wa Atu Rasul. Number one, Atu Allah. Number one, obey Allah. That's what it says. Now, when we think about that, really, you just to do what Allah says for us to do. Obey Allah. And everything else, see, when we read this, we take that and everything else that goes with this, make it a complete obligation. Obey Allah. You give Him the worship only. Love Him, Allah, more than you love anything else. All these other things, we can think of other things, many other things that we can think of that goes within this, after Allah, obeying of Allah. But the first thing got to be established is obedience to Allah. And that's the downfall for us. When we don't do the obedience to Allah, we're going to lose. Because Allah has asked us to obey Him. Obey Allah. And it says, وَأَتُوا الرَّسُولَ, and obey the messenger. Now, the messenger is talking about, in the first person, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and all the Anbiya, all the prophets. But we are to obey those believers in Islam, in Islam, we are to obey Allah and to obey His Rasul. And that's in that's in every circumstance. Not sometime, partial times, when we feel like it, but we're to do it all the time. Okay? And وَأُولِي الْأَمْرِ مِنْكُمْ. So we got three things. Obey Allah, obey His Rasul, and obey with authority among you, those who was authority among you. And I mentioned that those whom we have given authority among us, we're obligated to obey. These three, in this ayah, and in other places in the Quran, it tells us to worship Allah and obey parents. Worship Allah and obey parents. But this particular ayah is telling us directly who to obey. Again. And we know the parents have authority over us too. Yeah, they have authority over us. But it didn't, this ayah here didn't say parent. It didn't say parents. It said those who have authority. And this is connected with leadership. Not so much ring and mother or father and mother type leadership, but leadership of community life. Community life. Looking at community life. Now, and it says, if you do believe in Allah in the last day. So the testament of you believing in Allah for real in the last day, the judgment day, is that we establish these three principles, or establish these 3 points that Allah has mentioned in the ayat in our lives and our behavior. Okay? Now, also, we mentioned, we sort of went a little from this a little bit, just a little bit. We talked about the buffalo. Buffalo. And we were using that as an example to inspire our thinking. To inspire our thinking. And it says that the buffalo is a type of animal that has among them a leader. Always a lead buffalo in the group. And went on to say that they was out in the meadow grazing, and they got spooked, and quite naturally the lead buffalo began to move, and everybody else fell right in place, falling in place behind him. And that lead buffalo was going to the running, was about to go off a cliff, right? Mm-hmm. And some of the other buffaloes began to see that. So, well, wait a minute now. If we follow him, we're going to go over the cliff. But right before he got to the cliff, he made a left turn. And those that was watching him, this is a good scenario. Those that were watching him followed the same way. So you really, since I'm thinking about it, you had one group that followed him all the way, turned with him. And another group that put on reverse, didn't follow. You had another group that wasn't watching the lead and went over the hill, went over the cliff. So with this here, what I'm asking us, in that scenario that I gave to us with the buffalo, how do that apply with the spirit of these ayat? How in how we see it, how do it apply towards the message that we have in the buffalo? Is I'm clear on my question? I want to be clear on my question. Okay. How do that apply? See, we obey Allah, and those in authority. So how do the buffalo? Now the buffalo is really community, an authority type situation, human relationship situation. Yeah. Let's jump in here. If you don't understand, I want to be clear. Because I want to get some feedback from how we see this scenario for the buffalo leading and those following or not following, however it was.
Okay.
Yes.
The way I look at it, there's no question about obeying Allah and obeying the message. That's beyond a shadow of a doubt. We know that's to be true. But like you said, you want to look at the buffalo as being in terms of a community, human being, as a leader of a community. And as you said, the other buffaloes in the herd, follow the lead buffalo. And the lead buffalo, there were some buffaloes in the group that stopped. There were some of them that kept following the leaders, and they made the left turn when the leader made the left turn. Then you said some that went off the cliff, right?
Because they wasn't following at all.
Okay, I know Friday, but you can say about they go to the cliff, right? But
Yes, since we're looking at that. I mean, what I'm saying is but we're just keeping the context of Friday. See, now that's what I'm saying. Let me say, in the good part, you can't say everything, right? You gotta have some imagination to see this thing to the conclusion.
Right.
Okay? Right. I can't say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Well, go ahead though.
Okay.
But we just stay within the context of what I said.
Right.
I just want to see some feedback.
Right. And then this verse here is implicit in what it's saying. It says, "Obey those in authority among you." But there is some reservation right here, though. If that ruler, that person in authority, is just, because if you look at a couple of ayah in front of this one, it said being just among the people. So if this leader is just, now a leader could also be corrupt also, or this leader could have been just in the beginning. Later on, something could have happened in his life caused him to be corrupt. So there were some buffaloes in the herd that stopped, as you said. They didn't continue to follow him. So maybe they saw the injustice in that leader, because maybe he might have done something before they question their minds. We did something before. We almost, did something. We almost went off the cliff. So we're gonna throw caution to the wind now. We ain't gonna just, we're gonna go at a moderate pace. So if we do have to stop, we are able to stop those who just went on. Okay, now the reason I say that is because let's say for instance, if the buffalo, what happened if the lead buffalo had went off the hill? And those who kept following him, they would have went off too, right? They just say that. So did that mean then for those who, now what's going to happen on the day of judgment, we're looking at this as people too, a leader, male person running, leading the other people that follow him also. So they should always throw caution to the wind. They should also look for justice. And if they see injustice in their leader, then they shouldn't follow him. There's no question about it. Because what's going to happen on the day of judgment, those who follow him or those like the buffalo following off the hill, is they're going to, when Allah get ready to put out the punishment, they're going to say, Ya Allah, we only followed him. We only followed our leader. So solve us from this, punishment. Because they said we were just following him. So we got to have the hikmah, to know that we just shouldn't follow anybody blindly, so to speak. And that's what some people do, just because of some person's status or what have you. Another example would be like during the presidential primary, what they got going on now. Trump was saying some of the same thing. He said that if I'm commander in chief and if I give an order to kill some people, and somebody said, including women and children? He said, yeah, that includes women and children. So now if I'm a soldier in the military, I'm not just gonna kill the children because they're civilian. You know, now, if, you know, because what, I know that's wrong. That's wrong too, even though I was ordered. He's an authority among me, you know, giving me commands, but I'm not gonna do this. So that means then I would be subjected to court martial, I'll be subjected to going to prison, anything else. I just can't come to the court and say, oh, I just followed my command, I followed my orders. Because I deep down in my heart, I know what's wrong, so I won't be judged on that. So that's why I look at that. I follow leader if he just, but then again, if he corrupt, I'm not just gonna continue to follow him or whatever when I know he's doing wrong.
Yes, Hadith mentioned that, you know, with the follow the leader in right,
Right.
never in wrong. Right. See, okay, anybody else want to make a comment on that?
Yeah, we just need to finish reading the whole ayah, and it's going to clarify a lot of stuff. Because of the rest of the ayah say, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, يا أيها الذين آمنوا أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول وأولي الأمر منكم فإن تنازعتم في شيء فردوه إلى الله والرسول إن كنتم تؤمنون بالله واليوم الآخر ذلك خير وأحسن تأويلا. So if you have any trouble, any problem about anything, you have to take it back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to the messenger.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So following the leader, whoever he is, as long as he is leader, he has the responsibility. But if you feel something is not right about the leader, if you see something not right, now you have to tell the leader, now we have to go back to Allah and the Rasul. Say what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in his Quran and what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying in his hadith. So that's what he says. فَإِن تَنَازَعْتُمْ, if you have any problems, if you have any fight about anything,
Right. If you disagree, right?
if you disagree about anything, if you are not agreed with each other about that, or if you feel like whatever the leader or ulil amri minkum is not doing the right thing, you have to take it back. فَرُدُّوهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَالرَّسُولِ
Right.
إِن كُنتُمْ تُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ. And that's going to be a sign for believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the day of judgment. And ذَلِكَ خَيْرٌ وَأَحْسَنُ تَأْوِيلًا. And this is going to be the best compromising about that. This is going to be the best to take it back. You don't have to make a big fight about it. You don't have to make a big fit about it. Just if you have any disagreement, hey, take it back to Allah wa Rasul. In the same ayah, mashallah.
Mm-hmm. But let's apply that today. We know that the Rasulullah is not among us today, so and we know we don't talk to Allah that freely. We can pray to Him, but you know He don't communicate back to us as individuals that freely. So what are we to do then? We don't have the Rasulullah. We can't go back to Him. Now we can go to Hadith. We can go
Yeah,
to the
when he
Quran.
say فَرُدُّوهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولُهُ, that's meaning you have to go to the resources connected
Yes.
with Allah and Rasul. So Al-Quran Al-Kareem and Sunnah. Yeah,
Right.
that's all.
Right.
So simple. And everything is existing in Al-Quran and Sunnah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, now let's look at this. As we know, all the tenets got to be in place.
Right.
You got to be trustworthy, honest, etc., etc. Now, you know, when we look at the example of the buffalo, you know, as Brother Bilal had mentioned, and when we see that, I mentioned, well, I definitely mentioned two, that the one group had reservation,
Right.
you know,
Those who didn't go forward.
right, but they didn't go forward.
And those who went forward, some of them ready to put on their brake, they went at not at a hurried pace, I guess, as the rest of them. So they was down there.
See, they, you know, so you can look at that like Allah say, when you know, Allah asks the question, oh, you believe, again, what is wrong with you? You ask to go forth in the cause of Allah.
Right.
So now, if we look at it another way, you actually go forth in the cause of Allah, and Allah say, basically, why you have reservation?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you believe, what is the matter with you?
Mm-hmm.
When you actually go forth in Allah, you cling to the earth. So, and that's the same, you know, I'm sort of seeing the same mentality with those who had reservation.
So you're making a connection.
I'm making a connection. You know, I'm sort of seeing that See, first of all, like we say Rasulullah sallam, the Prophet sallam would give an order, and they say we hear and we obey, because of the trust, and because of the trust they had, not only just the trust, but because of the life of the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who he was, how he, not just who he was. See, we got to. It's just who he was, but it was also how he was. And that was enough for Sahabi Quran when the Prophet Sallallahu gave an order, or someone was asked for something, they would respond without reservation. You know, because of who he was, knowing who he was and how he was, and how much trust he had. So I think that in this example of the buffalo, I think that one of the qualities we have to have as Muslim is patience.
Mm-hmm.
We just can't go in. Well, he asking for this. I ain't gonna go anyway. So we got to have the sabr. See, that's another quality that this brings out in following leadership. I got to have patience to see this thing, at least see this thing to a conclusion. So if they would have had that quality, like some of them had, they stayed the course. See, the prophet said too, to this house, he told them, during one of the battles, whatever you see, don't move. So they had to have enough trust in the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Even though they saw the Muslim winning, saw the Muslim, all these bounces and all these near favors they can get, the prophet said, don't move. I said, well, why should not? So we rationalize. So what I'm saying is that, I would mention also in the khutbah that we got to have a whole religion. We can't have half. I have come to learn that either going to be whole or nothing at all. You can't have whole, half, 3/4, piece. You have to be whole. You have to have the whole religion. So we have to, and Allah say also, we believe come to Islam wholeheartedly. So it mentioned about coming in total. So I'm saying to say that if we have a leader, this is my opinion, we're to follow that leader. For as we can follow that leader. Right? Yeah. For as we can follow that leader. And having trust, see, it's when trust comes in. Trusting that leader, just like Brother Blair, the leader of the class. We trust in him. Brother Todd is teaching the class. We trust in him. I'm not going to come to class, well, I already know, I know. No, I'm going to trust what that brother, what these brother is giving us is the right, correct information off the bat. Then later on we find the brother like, well, I made a mistake on this or that. Alhamdulillah. It's just alhamdulillah, because there's no, so what I'm saying is that with this buffalo scenario, we got to have trust in leadership. First of all, we got to go in with trust. We can't, if we go in with anything other than that, we ain't going in. That's the point of what I'm saying. So you say that you're with this, I have come to learn that, that's what I'm saying. If you're with something, you're with the total of it. You can't be partial. Can't be partial. And also you say, well, somebody might say, well, in that scenario, it's talking about suicide. Mm-hmm. No, I'm not talking about suicide. We know that suicide is one of the greatest offenses that a Muslim could do. Kill yourself, take your own life. That's grave. That's in the same category with shirk. When you take your own life. So it's not that. It's that you having enough faith and trust in what you're doing to where you wouldn't mind giving your life for that if need be. See, I'm telling us now, in my opinion, this is the type of deen that we gotta have. Have that much trust. Now, you might say, what you talking about, brother? I can remember, I'll give you a hadith. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, I believe it was Taif. He went to Taif and to do the da'wah, to invite the people in Taif to deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he went, he began to preach to the people, and normally the Arab is cordial
hospitable people, you know. So the Prophet went there, you know, so to teach deen. So for whatever reason, those people didn't show the Arab hospitality to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In fact, they sent their street urchins, the ruffians, the worst of their society, to do bodily harm to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So and that's what they did. I mentioned this before. They started stoning the Prophet. I'm telling you, in Saudi Arabia, in Arabia, when they talk about stone, they got some. I'm telling you, it's nothing but desert and rock. I didn't see it in the desert. I saw rock, stone everywhere. I ain't seen no desert. I ain't seen no bunch of rocks and stones. I'm telling you, I said, man, they can make money just selling stone rocks. They got so many. So they were hitting the Prophet with the rocks. So what happened was, this is what I'm saying, the trust that they had and the love they had for the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Abu Bakr Siddiq happened to be coming by that way and noticed that the Prophet, they had hit him so much with bricks and stuff till actually when he walked, blood was squashed out of his shoes. He was just that, he was almost dead, you know, I'm sure, you know. And anyway, so Abu Bakr, what he did, he ran up and said, oh, don't do that. You know, he said, don't do that. And what he did was really, he shielded, according to the story, he shielded the Prophet's body, with his body. So now Abu Bakr, instead of the Prophet getting hit with the bricks and stones, Abu Bakr is getting hit with the stones and the rocks and all these kind of things. So it went on for a long time to where the Prophet finally, you know, got away from that group, from that crowd. And Abu Bakr Siddiq, he fainted, he was out, almost dead. And so eventually he woke up and guess what he said? I know you know what he said, because I said it more than one time. He said, what Abu Bakr Siddiq did, when he came to consciousness, he said, how is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? He said, how is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? When the point is that he wasn't worried about himself. He the one that almost died, but it didn't matter to him. He was so concerned about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so he asked the question to his family, how's Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Guess what happened? According to the story, probably more, but let's give you pieces of it. His family got mad with Abu Bakr Siddiq. So why are you asking about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you the one that almost got killed? That's what they said. They got mad with him because he was concerned about the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I'm saying that to say, it's not going, even if the lead buffalo went over the hill, if he went over the hill, and if you follow him over the hill, it's not about suicide, it's about that I'm following the leader. Because my life and my death is all for Allah. So what I'm saying, the example that I'm pointing out, is that this is the type of deen, the understanding at least, that we got to get about this deen. You know, they would sacrifice their life for the Rasulullah. Ali did the same thing. Ali ibn Khattab, he did the same thing. When our Prophet made the hijrah, Ali was in his bed. He wasn't in his bed just to be there. He was in the bed, so if it need be, he would have been killed in the place of Muhammad the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this is what I'm saying. This is the type of deen, obey Allah, obey Rasul, and those in authority. If we have any differences, call on Allah and His Rasul. We know that. So we see these examples of how we are to respect those among us who's in authority. Who's in authority among us? All of us. In deen, your deen, like it's my deen, we all in authority. So when we see it in a bigger way, the same obligation that the imam had, the teacher had, whoever had, the same obligation they have, the same obligation we all have. Same thing. Same thing. So we're all in authority when in respect of the application in the adhan of the religion. We're all in authority. So when we see that and understand that grows our unity. That grows our unity. And the Prophet Muhammad, let me say this. When they took bay'ah with the Prophet, and they took bay'ah on different things. Also, how they take bay'ah on the same thing. Some of them did some of them say, some of them say, well, I'll hear and obey you and what you said. I'll take not from it, nor I add to it. I will take nothing from what you said, Muhammad, nor I add to Muhammad. Whatever you told us, that's what it is. Whatever you told us. Yes, that's some of the level of bay'ah that they took from the hand of the Prophet. And then they went on. Then they said, well, Muhammad, on what condition do you pledge to us bay'ah? What condition you give to us bay'ah? More or less, he said, he said, my blood, your blood, same blood. No difference. So what that means? That means that the same pledge that you made to me is the same pledge I made to you. No difference. So this is what the point I'm making, brothers and sisters, in this short period of time, is the type of obligations that we must, as Muslims, have with each other. We got to have that type of relationship with us as Muslims. Your work and my work is the same work. It's not a responsibility, it's a work. See, when you say responsibility, you're only going to do a piece of what you would normally do. So you see the point that I'm making to us, that it's important that we have that type of understanding and that type of cooperation among each other as Muslims. And I said also that we was failing badly in that, and we are, because we see the condition of the Ummah of Muhammad today. Somebody say something about you. I was with them and said, well, so why didn't you do anything? If somebody say something about me, for instance, about you, if I didn't respond to that in a correction mode, and I said, well, I didn't say nothing because they weren't talking about me. What back up? When you're talking about her, you're talking about me. Ummah wahida. One community. When you're talking negative about her, you're talking negative about me. And if you can talk negative about me, you can talk negative about me, about Muhammad, right? So that means that you see in me some weakness. Why you want to talk to me negative about my brother? And I have to question myself, what do you see in me that make you think that you can come to me and talk about my brother like you're talking about my brother to me? Not knowing, you should know that if you're talking about him in a negative, you're also talking about me in a negative. And what that does, that alleviates all negativity. Your blood, my blood is the same. My feelings, your feelings, the same feelings. You see my point? And this is what we have to get. And we're going right back to our Quranic summit last weekend. Every Muslim who had the opportunity should have been. I feel, in one way or the other. Now let me say this, in all fairness. We had some that weren't physically here, but what? Their presence was still here. You see? I appreciate that. I love that. That's what we need. You don't necessarily, we don't need everybody in the same basket. Right? We don't want to it's like, well, what, brother, man, why you didn't call and tell me about this? But brother, it was best that you didn't know about that. That's why you in one situation where you need to know about it anyway. So what I'm saying is that this is the theme. Now as I said, everybody wasn't here, but we had some people that wasn't here last week, but was here in representation. We had some people last week, one here in representation, one here period, and didn't want to come. You see? So that's we don't want to be there, especially when it comes to Quran. You know, other stuff we can do. But what I'm saying, see, we have to be Muslim like that. But brother, I can't go. But I tell you what, I'm gonna have something there that let you know if I could have been there, I would have been there. That's Islam. You don't have to be there, but you have representation. Your brother here teaching the class, and he said he don't come to a class. And I said, well now, I ain't the teacher, but this is what the teacher been teaching, right? So I ain't the teacher, but that's what the teacher been teaching. So even though the teacher ain't there, the teacher is there because we know this is what the teacher been teaching. See that? Mm-hmm. Now let me show you what I'm saying. When they asked the prophet about something, did he like it? He said, prophet, do you like the taste of that? For instance, he wouldn't say anything. He wouldn't say nothing. Okay, now, you asked the prophet, did he like that? And he didn't say nothing. What response you think he'll be giving, brothers and sisters? You asked the prophet, did you like that? And he don't say nothing, he's silent. What would be your understanding of what he meant about what is his answer, rather, to the question that you asked him, did he like the way that tastes? But he didn't say nothing.
I would assume he didn't like it if he didn't say anything.
Okay, that's a good assumption. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Everybody, jump in. We ain't got a few more minutes. Come on.
I would say he would like it.
He did like it. Okay.
But he didn't say something. If he didn't like it, probably was open up, say something of his mouth and say.
Okay. All right. That's another good assumption. Anybody else?
I would say he wanted to make their own decision about it. He didn't want to influence their decision.
That's good. That's another good assumption.
Or he could
I would
have.
say he was being rude.
Well, we ain't gonna go that far.
Into or why not and give an answer?
Well, see, but but okay. Well, that's how she got it. How do you got? Okay, brother.
Okay, yeah, he probably didn't answer. He said he didn't say anything.
He didn't say anything.
He didn't say. He probably had a reservation for saying that because he felt like if the person wouldn't have been able to accept the truth, how he really feel. If he didn't like it, he felt like this person won't accept it or would feel bad. He wouldn't want to hurt their feelings. So he probably thought the best to take the middle course is not to say anything.
Okay.
Just let it go like it is.
All right. I'm good. Brother Tariq, you want to get in on this?
I don't think he heard the question.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't hear the question.
The question was that the prophet was asked, did he like the taste of this particular thing? And he didn't say nothing. They asked him the question, Rasulullah, do you like the taste of this? We'll say fruit. We'll say fruit, this apple. But he was silent. How would you understand his response to your question?
So there's too many possibilities about that. Maybe he don't like the taste of whatever food it is, but he don't want to embarrass whoever introduced it to him, because this is the morals of Rasulullah. He cannot embarrass nobody, you know. or tell him it's no good. And maybe if he say this is no good, people start saying, oh, okay, so Allah, Rasulullah, he don't like that, so we can never eat it because he don't like it. So everybody gonna follow that if he say it's not good. So because every word he said is gonna be counted. Then if he then say something about, so he leave it open for everybody. So leave it open for everybody. He don't like the taste of it, or maybe he like it, but he don't want to praise it. So everybody might say, hey, okay, this is the best food because also he praised it. So he leave it open for a reason.
Right.
So everybody can have his own opinion about it.
And then to another thing on a scientific basis, that he knows that everybody has different taste buds. What I might like, there's some food right now we know that we select your food, but you give it to somebody else, they don't like it. Say, what's wrong with them? What's wrong with this?
Exactly.
I know this tastes good to me.
Exactly. Not everybody tastes the same food exactly. Yes, that's absolutely correct. Yes.
So basically then what we're saying is, we would say, really, as we said, I would understand it to mean it's optional. It's up to you, as we said.
Right, right.
It's that if you like it, if you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody wrong. Because the prophet didn't, as he said, he didn't put a legislation on this is what I eat, what I don't eat. If he would have said no, I don't like it, automatically it would have been no.
Right.
But what he did was, as the brother said, as we all said, it's up to you. If you like the taste of that mango, alhamdulillah. You know, alhamdulillah.
Avocado.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Whatever. You know, if you don't, Allahu Akbar. Nothing wrong with that. So the point is that what I'm saying, brothers and sisters, when we get on this big, see, Islam is in following the Prophet sallallahu, it's a broad thing. It's not narrow. You know, a lot of times we try to narrow it down. Like I was talking about the beard in Juma. You know, I got a beard. It's money they offer. The older you get, the more you lose your hairs. I've seen some brothers had beards. Now they ain't got no beard, it'll fill out. So it's not just so much just always following the physical seeing aspect of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's things that we don't really have a shape or have a body that we follow. Right. Like for instance, I go back to what I said earlier. Now I'm saying this, I'm serious, you should think about it. When we are called for something, and we can't physically be present and do it, we should have some type of representation. That's deen. If you with the whole piece, though I can't be there physically, but I guarantee you,
You there spiritually.
I'm there spiritually. I'm gonna send somebody, or send something, or something. I'm gonna do something. We have to do something.
To let your presence know
That
the
the
felt.
presence been there.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, alhamdulillah. That's Islam. I'm telling you, that little bit right there. See, let me say this to us, brothers. We got about 15 minutes. We say, I'm gonna talk about shaitan for a minute. I'm gonna start flipping script a bit. We say, well, the devil ain't influencing me. He ain't got no influence over me. I ain't out there in the street and this and that, this and that, this and that, that and this, doing all these things that they doing. Don't think that's the only way the shaitan works. So I ain't out there in the kamar, I'm out there in the haram. Shaitan get you and I, the believer. No, we ain't gonna go out and drink whiskey and do all this kind of stuff over the left. We ain't gonna do all that stuff. Nightclub all night, you know. Come to Juma, go out all Thursday night and party, come to Juma on Friday, or go out all night, come to Talim on Sunday, talk like we talking. No, we ain't gonna do that. The believer ain't gonna do that. Because his belief is too strong for that. Shaitan can't get us like that over the left. But what he get us in backbiting. You only talking about somebody. I mean, you're only using your vocal cords. Envy. Being envious of people. or just dislike people for no reason. Now we Muslim, we believers, and I just don't like that person because I just don't like him. You ain't done nothing to that person, you know, but you have really done something to your own self simply because you dislike a Muslim, simply because you don't like him. You say, why you don't like him? I just don't like him. You can't give a reason. Why? The reason you dislike that Muslim, and you don't have any reason, is because Shaitan have given you the reason. That's how Shaitan get us. Man, I ain't out there doing all that stuff, but we're stingy. That's not a quality of a Muslim. Allah say, we brother mentioning last Sunday, we was talking about he just vaguely coming back as a cat. He was mentioning as a cat how that works. How that worked. And that whole ayat we was talking about, how all that worked. And so this is how Shaitan get us. Not that we go out and rob people and all this kind of thing. We're stingy. We hold back. We are reserved. This is how Shaitan handle the Muslim.
Right.
He said, man, the devil ain't got me, brother. You see me, I make my salat, I got my kufr on, I got my kamal on, I got me all this on.
Yeah.
He ain't got us like that. He got us in, the Shaitan got the Ummah Muhammad in our adab, our behavior. Not the physical aspect of it, because we look Muslim, you see the Muslim, I know that's a Muslim, like they got a kufr on, we got a photo, we got all this kind of thing going, got dhikr, all these kind of things. But the Shaitan got us in our spirit. Got us in our spirit. Like we got the brother, now, let me say this. We have brother for the last several months. I'm just putting it out there. I'm talking to me too. Because it was inspiring to me. We had brother bringing us fruits every week, every Jummah. This Jummah, we didn't get it because he didn't show up. And we probably won't see him in a couple more. He's a truck driver, right? He told me he'll be driving a truck. So he won't be coming because he'll be out on the road. So is that part of the Ihram that have been established, which is a benefit for all of us? Mm-hmm. Would that be a continuation of that? With one of us, including myself, talking to myself, would I take that up to do that? For no reason but for the pleasure of Allah. See, this is how we know when we do we have these kind of strengths, then we know that Shaitan, he ain't got me for real. I ain't much gotta say he ain't got me because I know he ain't got me. You see? do what I'm saying making some kind of sense?
Yeah.
Some kind of sense somewhere?
Right. I'm gonna say this. We know that in the Prophet Solomon, last sermon, he said the same thing you just said, that Shaitan have given us all hope of misleading us in the big things.
There you go.
But in the small things, that's where he gets us at. The little things like, for example, on cold mornings when we don't want to get up, either come to the masjid for Jummah, we're going to find some little excuse, the children, work or something. And sometimes we have to do these things, work or something like that. But we're going to find some little excuse or something like that for not coming. We just looking for that little thing, But so Shaitan gave up all hope of misleading us in the big things. Like the Imam said, well, we ain't not drinking, we ain't not hard in those big things, But it's the small things, Sagir, the small thing where he gets us at. So that's what he told us to be aware of the small things. That's what Shaitan is going to mislead us, the little things.
And yes, 100% right, true. Alhamdulillah. Let me say this, I'm getting back to, as I said, we got guests coming in. Not trying to brag, I'm just telling you, I gotta say it, I thank Allah. We got 7 imams coming to our town, Columbus, Georgia. 7 imams that's part of the total leadership of our whole community in the United States. They come in here. To me, that's a blessing from Allah that they, which I invited them actually, that they did say, well, we'll come to Columbus. We have our face-to-face sit-down meeting here in your city, Columbus, Georgia. We're coming. Imam from Philadelphia, Imam Shabazz, he's coming. He sent me his itinerary already, so he'll be here. So all these imams is coming with a long blessing. This is big time stuff. This is big time stuff. They're coming to our city, and I assured them that we would give them the best Southern hospitality that you can get anywhere on the planet in the South. You know?
So, Brother Man, you said one of these men gonna do the Kubah Friday?
Yeah, we're expecting the national convener,
Right.
the brother that, inshallah, they're gonna do the khutbah. Inshallah, we expect him to do the khutbah. He's a national imam, convener of imams for the whole country. Imam Bashir Ali, he'll be coming.
This Goma, inshallah?
This Jum'ah.
This coming Goma?
Yeah,
This
coming
Jum'ah,
Jum'ah,
inshallah.
right.
This coming Jum'ah.
So tell us what the other plans are, you know, the schedule for that
Okay,
weekend.
okay, basically the schedule is that we're gonna be in seclusion in the masjid,
Okay.
you know, and we're gonna be planning some strategies for 2016, some directives for our community, national community. We're gonna be brainstorming, we're discussing our youth, what we can do for them, what we need to do for them. We're discussing economics, community life, family life, all these kind of things we're gonna be putting directives on. Business, it's gonna be another piece. Communication, be another piece. So these kind of things that we're
So it's gonna be just one day Friday or Saturday, Sunday? Gonna be
basically, it's gonna really be Saturday.
Saturday,
Saturday gonna be sit down.
okay.
We're gonna be here Saturday, from 8 o'clock to around Asr time.
8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
So you said,
So-
so we're gonna have breakfast
we're
then?
gonna have breakfast.
Food gonna be here?
Yeah, we're gonna have breakfast.
So that's, you said Saturday morning.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's why I'm trying to get the time now. Saturday morning, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. So I guess at 8 o'clock, probably be eating breakfast.
So Friday he gonna give the khutbah, the brother gonna give the khutbah over here.
Inshallah.
Then Saturday you will be have a meeting with all everybody will be invited to
No,
come.
it's a closed meeting.
Oh,
That's the only thing.
okay. So the meeting is gonna be closed for the brothers only.
Yeah, well, for the imams. You
For
know,
the imams?
For the conveners.
Mhm.
There's gonna be a conveners meeting.
Okay.
And then after the meeting, we'll finish up about 5 o'clock.
Okay. So actually it's not something like open house or something. No.
No,
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
no, it's not open house.
Mm.
But I just wanna let us know
Mm-hmm.
that we have the conveners in town.
Okay.
And, you know, from there, I don't want them to come and nobody in the community know they came, it's
Mm.
coming.
Okay.
I didn't, the brother man tell us nothing about it.
So what I guess what you were talking about, we're looking at, I guess, community participation, was there any participation?
No.
But like you just said, it's just a close.
It's close, it's a
Close
close,
meeting.
it's close short.
Yeah, I see.
It's close short.
Mhm.
But I just want to let us know.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I thought that's open because the brother Bilal, the way he mentioned, I thought that's like people gonna be like we did last week when we had the
No,
No.
no, it'll be
conversation.
different.
No.
It'll be different. You know, imam, they'll be here probably for Jumu'ah, and you know, and I introduce you to the imams and stuff like that. You know, everybody that's here. But actually, the meeting is a closed meeting. I want to say that.
Yeah.
But I want to say that the imams are coming. I didn't want them to come, and they said, "Well, brother, you didn't mention nothing about it. We didn't know nothing about it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you might be talking to one of the imams. We didn't know y'all was coming."
Okay.
Go ahead, brother. And say.
The conclusion after the meeting is gonna be anything? Gonna be telling the community about it, or just something about
No,
it?
we're gonna tell the community about it after we have the meeting,
Yeah,
and then the report from the meeting will come.
exactly.
And then we share that with the community. throughout the
That's
country.
what we need to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It won't be that you won't know about the
We
meeting.
want to get the results. No?
Conclusions.
You can-
Conclusions.
Inshallah, inshallah. So I just want to say that we're gonna take care of all of that. We're gonna take care of the meals. We're gonna, personally, I'm gonna take care of the meals, so we're not burdening the community. You know, I just thank Allah that He have blessed me and all of us, you know, to do that, do those kind of things. So I just want to say that we're not gonna burden the community with that, because we burdened the community last week. So we don't want to burden the community, and we gotta come back in April and burn the community again. So, I just want to say that, inshallah. So we do plan to do that, have the imams here. And I think more than anything, pray Allah that the brother do be here for the Jumu'ah khutbah. I think we're gonna benefit from that, you know. I mean, it's good about it, so it's tough. And, so that's where we at right there. And I appreciate everybody, alhamdulillah, all the believers. That'd be like Buffalo now. Don't turn too quick. Wait and see what happens. So we gotta see things to the conclusion, brother.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. And Allah Ta'ala, our community is better for that clock too. Yeah. But anyway, as I said, we have started our basketball team. And you know, we might say, well, brother, I don't really see a big deal about basketball, you know. Well, you know, from my standpoint, it's a function. It could really be a good function if we all get involved in it one way or the other. You know, it's like anything that we do. When we give all of our support to it, it could be a good thing. One good thing can come out of that is that we could, as I said, and I talked to some of the other imams, other brothers, other masjids. They don't show a whole lot of enthusiasm. You know, they're not really so enthused. Well, you know, we do old baseball, whatever. But it's a good activity that we could really have. We can travel to. We're going to Mississippi in May. We can get a bus, take our children with us, our wives and family members with us. Just have a wonderful day with Muslims. If you hadn't been to New Medina, it's a Muslim community that they started from zero, from woods. They got homes, they got masjid, they got farms.
When the plan's gonna be for us to go over there?
They're gonna be the latter part of May. What's it, Memorial? What's it? Memorial Day. Yeah, Memorial Day weekend.
In May sometime.
In May. Memorial is
May.
26, I think. 26 May.
Don't know exactly what day, I guess. But
It's Memorial weekend.
Memorial weekend, okay.
What was
Memorial
that?
Day
Do that,
weekend.
somebody, please. What's that?
Memorial Day always come on a Monday, right?
Yeah.
So then this is gonna probably be
It'll be that Friday before.
the Friday before.
It'll be that Friday before.
Right.
Friday before
Friday
Memorial Day.
Memorial
Yeah. Yeah, for
So we need to know ahead exactly when the time.
What
So
date is that? We'll go ahead and put that down. What's the date is
She
that?
got a calendar, she looking up now.
Memorial Day. We're going to New Medina now.
yeah, and we need the
We ain't going to Medina, we're going to New Medina.
we need to know how many persons gonna go and how much it's gonna cost for each one and everything.
Yeah.
We need to advertise that so everybody be ready to
Yeah,
go.
We're
ready.
gonna win the Friday before Memorial Day?
No, it'll be Friday, Friday for Memorial. That Friday next coming to that Monday.
So it's the 27th.
27th.
May 27th? May
27th.
27th.
So that's Friday, right?
Right.
So we'll be in, inshallah, New Medina on the 28th.
That's Saturday.
It's Saturday.
Okay, so we go on, so what day, we leave early that Saturday morning?
Right, so like we done the last, you know,
Right, yeah.
probably that Friday, 12 o'clock Friday night.
Uh-huh.
You know, we'll get the exact time. And boom, we're there in New Medina, say 8 o'clock that morning, whatever time, to start the festivities.
Right. You got that, Brother Tart?
Yeah, I'm going in my phone now, so I remember.
Yeah. So, you know, we're gonna be, inshallah, even if we don't play the basketball, it'll be worth going to
Yeah.
see New Medina.
Yeah.
It'll be worth seeing New Medina. You hadn't seen a Muslim
It's in Tennessee,
No,
Mississippi.
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 Right. You said we know they got school down there.
Yeah,
They got
school.
school, math.
I never been in Mississippi. I would
all
love to
community.
go. I need to go.
Inshallah. Yeah, it'll be nice. You enjoy it. It's nice. They're gonna have a lot of activities, hay rides.
And we'll be riding in a bus, right?
Right, inshallah.
Not private cars.
No,
Right,
that'll be
big
bus. Bus.
Like the-
Okay,
bus.
great.
49 passengers. Inshallah.
Wonderful.
If we need 2, we get 2. We need 3, we get 3.
Inshallah.
So it'd be nice. It'd be nice to go down and see what the Muslims have been doing for the last 30-some years. It took them 37 years to get to where they are now.
You got a farm too.
They got a farm. They got farm, big land. What I understand, they own one of the.
Maybe somebody like the way they live over there, and somebody get moved over there.
Yeah. they got land for housing. Yeah. In fact, brother brother
In Fort
Abbas.
What it?
You remember Abbas used to come to Columbus?
Yeah.
He used to live in New Medina.
He did?
He had a home there.
Mm-hmm.
So as a Muslim, you know what? I'm gonna say this. We're gonna close it out.
Brother Abbas,
Yeah.
the guy used to work in the
Yeah,
city.
yeah, just come over there. Used to work for the city.
No, no.
Yeah, I know him. The
You
guy.
got a brother who sell bean pie.
Oh, that would say bean pie.
Bean
Okay.
pie. Not the Abbas.
Okay, I thought you were talking about that brother. Because you know he drove trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For the
okay.
city.
The brother that was he sell bean pies. They used to come from Albany.
That brother, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know this guy. Yeah.
It's one Christian family living in New Medina.
Oh yeah?
And they said that that is the best place that they could ever live with the Muslims. To build a home there, build a house there. One Christian family, out of all the Muslims, one Christian family living in New Medina. Just to say how they are. It's wonderful brothers and sisters.
So they act like they are the Amish. You know, everybody knows about the Amish.
Yeah.
But you know, Amish is Jews.
Right.
All the Amish is Jewish people.
Yeah.
That's where they originate from.
Yeah. So and they are a close community too. They don't have no power, no nothing. They still live in the old ways.
Yeah.
Right. They in Fort Valley, they trying to maybe do something similar to what they doing down in New
Yeah.
Medina. They got a big farm there. They got cows.
Fort Valley?
Fort Valley. It's not that far from
It's
here.
beautiful. I've been over there
You
two
been over there to
times.
the farm?
2 times.
Okay.
Not to the farm.
Okay.
I went over there. I guess I would have some business over there, but I saw all this pecan farms, and oh
Yes,
my goodness,
yes,
it's
all-
beautiful.
Yeah.
It is
Peach
beautiful.
County.
Huh?
Peach County is what they call it.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly an hour driving from here. Not too far.
Yeah.
Down the road.
80 west, 80 east.
But there are Muslims down there who have a farm. You know, they raise halal cows and
Ah.
they're gonna have chicken and everything.
Oh, yeah?
Big, yeah.
MashaAllah.
So what I'm saying is I think they're gonna try to do something like they do in Medina, where they have houses, you know, the Muslim family can stay there, school, masjid, everything.
MashaAllah.
So in fact, they're building a school in New Medina, so you get a chance to see that. I mean, big time. So alhamdulillah. And the brother in Fort Valley is getting his chickens from New Medina.
Okay.
The brother in New Valley, he's well known for you. You know him.
Email me.
Yeah, I know
I
for-
met him.
Yeah.
We've been down there once.
He's a good Muslim brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Been on the farm. It's real nice.
He's a good brother. So anyway, inshallah ta'ala, I pray Allah that we, try to look at that. We're supposed to be practicing today at 6 o'clock at Baker Middle School
Okay. Basketball.
basketball. So we getting ready.
Good luck.
See, that's the thing now.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, brother, we gotta get in shape. We just couch potatoes, we gotta get in shape. We gotta start training, running, all these kind of things. We never know. You never know. You don't know what might happen. Okay, so I thank you very much, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh.